This video is about river features and how to use them when paddling. The simplest feature is a rock. Water is pushed around the rock and it flows back, creating an eddy behind the rock. Where the eddy and the flow meet each other is the eddy line. The eddy lines form a V pointing up to the rock, and the flow flows up towards the rock, recirculating. Objects in the flow get pushed around the rock, while objects in the eddy recirculate. Eddies are useful for paddlers because we can turn into the eddy and have a rest. In the eddy, we can use the difference between the flow to help us turn around. The eddy line is very disturbed water and is the location where most capsizes happen on the river. Eddies can be used to help us manoeuvre across the river. To maintain balance as we cross the eddy line, we would lean and edge into the turn like a bike rider going round a bend. Eddies can be used to quickly pull into to check the group behind, look downstream and move on. With two rocks we would have an eddy behind each, and the eddy lines would indicate a downstream V of deep water. This deep water channel gives us the easiest route down the river. As we approach from above, we can easily see the downstream V to aim for. We can again use these eddies to manoeuvre around on the river and to have a rest. We can move from one eddy to another eddy. The key factors when crossing the eddy lines are the speed of the boat compared to the flow, the angle compared to the flow, how much edge and leaning you have, the backboard balance or trim, the timing of the strokes, and the future water or where you're looking as you paddle down the river. The balance of these different factors will determine the shape of the turn that is made. Greater edge would give a sharper turn, while a faster speed would give a wider turn. As water hits a large rock or cliff, it is forced up, creating a cushion wave in front of the cliff. Viewed from above, we can see the water is actually being pushed upstream where the cushion wave is created. If a paddler can't avoid a rock, they should lean towards it to maintain balance as they get pushed around. You can see the cushion wave here is actually bouncing the paddler around the rock. The cushion wave can also be used to help manoeuvre around on the river. Where there is no cushion wave in front of a rock, the water is either going under through an undercut or through holes in the rock called a sieve or siphon. These are particularly dangerous. Viewed from above, we can see there's no eddy and the water is flowing out from underneath the rock. If the holes or undercut are too small for a paddler to fit through, they will be held there indefinitely. If the water is deep enough, we can paddle over the rock. On a low landing, we would want to land flat. On a much higher waterfall landing, we would want to land vertically. For a flat boof landing, the paddler needs to time their stroke as they drive the boat off the lip. Rocks can also be used to slide off to avoid an obstacle downstream, or just for fun. Even when a rock is covered by water, it creates an eddy and can be spotted by the eddy lines below it. These eddy lines create an upstream V pointing at the rock. By spotting these rocks, we can avoid hitting them and we can use them to help manoeuvre around on the river. Eddies are not still water, but constantly moving water, always flowing up towards the rock at the top. After the water drops over the rock, it recirculates to refill the gap, creating a hole behind the rock, shown in the white water here. Objects will recirculate in this water, being pulled up towards the rock. The water flowing up towards the rock is called the towback, The distance will depend on the shape of the rock, the speed of the flow, and other factors. The back of the hull can be used as you would a normal eddy. Appropriate speed will allow you to exit through the hole, but too slow will leave you stuck in the hole, needing to edge to keep the boat balanced. Manoeuvring towards the downstream V at one side of the hole will allow you to escape from the hole. Holes can be used to perform loops, cartwheels, and other freestyle maneuvers, but they can also be quite dangerous depending on the shape of them and the amount of flow. As the water level increases over the rock, the hole turns into a wave. The foam pile can be used for freestyle maneuvers, while the green, deep trough in front can be used for surfing. When paddling down through waves, paddle strokes should be timed to pull the boat through the foam pile. The best way to access the surf wave is from the side, and this can be done to manoeuvre on the river or to surf and play. Controlling the boat while surfing is a combination of rudder strokes, edging, and gentle braking strokes if needed. A weir, also called a low-head dam in America, is a man-made feature designed to maintain a level of water above the weir. Weirs typically have vertical walls at either side and a sloping face to them. These can be very dangerous to paddlers because of the uniform nature of the hole and towback created below, and because of the lack of access out to either side. Weirs can be easy to paddle and great fun, but with a change in water depth, they can easily stop a boat and hold them. If a paddler did get stopped in a weir, they need to edge the boat to maintain balance and find a weak point in the flow, looking for a form of downstream V that they can move the boat towards and exit. In the weir, with good edge control, the paddler can keep their boat upright, not letting the upstream edge drop, but lifting it, not relying on the paddle, but using that paddle to move forwards and backwards to exit the weir. And all of this applies to canoes just as much as it does to kayakers.